So let's say you would like to play a bit less to video games or even quit a gaming addiction. Or maybe you want to protect somebody in your family from overusing video games. So in this video, we're going to use Cold Turkey, a free and really powerful monitoring software. However, we're not going to cover how to install it here. We got another video where we show you how to do that and how to set it up correctly so it works pretty well. Now, before moving further, we would invite you to actually test your digital bad habits to see if it's dangerous, to see if it's an addiction. This will help you to gain self-awareness, assess your addiction levels compared to others, and to get personalized insights from addiction experts. This test is completely free and anonymous. You will receive the results by email. It's really easy to do. You can do it in 4 minutes. At the end, you will get a score out of 100 and you will know what's going well and what's not, what could be dangerous and what to watch out for. You will also get, most importantly, insights from digital addiction experts on what to do and how you can improve things. Now, let's say I have a bunch of video games that are installed on my computer. I've installed them through Steam or maybe Origin. It doesn't matter. What we want to do to regulate them, we want to create a new block, and we're going to go to Application. So the easiest way to block all your video games in once is to go to Add Exes in folder. So an exe is a file that the game is going to use to launch. So if you block to your computer the access to those files, you cannot launch the video games anymore. It's that simple. So usually they are located in the program files, Steam folder, whatever is the name of the platform you use. Now, if you press on OK now, it's going to block the full folder, so also the platform will be blocked. If you don't want to block the platform, you just want to block the video games, you will have to find the folder where all the video games are. In this case, you will find it in Steam Apps Common, and you can see that all my video games are here. So I'm going to press OK. So now any file in the common folder of the Steam Apps finishing by .exe is going to be monitored by this block. So I'm going to save it. I'm going to call it Gaming Blocker, and let's try to activate it to see if it actually works. I'm going to start a video game, and as you can see, Steam is starting, which is normal, but here you can see application blocked. Dishonored.exe was blocked by blocker because it's in your block list. Let's try again just to be sure. And yeah, it's blocked. Now, if I try to unlock it and still launch the video game, you can see that now it's working, which is pretty well. But I'm going to show you if I activate it while the video game is launched. It's forcing the game to quit. So as you can see, it's a really powerful software. Now, let's say you want to block only one video game and not the full folder. Well, what you can do is to remove this one. You will have to find the exact exe of your game. You can do some research on how to find it on the internet. It's quite easy. And when you have found the files, so for example, I want to block this game. If you feel you are close, you can type exe in the research bar, and it's going to show you a bunch of files, including the one of the video game. So if I select it, now you can see that it's blocking only this video game. So if I save it, or I would be able to access all the other games beside this one, which can be useful depending on what you're trying to achieve, of course. Now, I got these video games that I installed through the App Store. So what I can do here is that I can directly block it through the add window title to block. This is a really powerful way to block it because I can just enter any word and surround it by those characters. And if I save it and try to launch it, you can see that it immediately blocked it. Here, application blocked, Explorer was blocked because it's in your block list. This can be also useful on the web, so we're going to see how it works now. If I add here the games, it's going to block any window that contains the word games in it. So let me show you. So if I type games on internet, it's blocking it. You can click here and see this keyword was blocked, found in your gamer blocker. So what's happening here, to show you, I'm going to unlock it and to refresh the page. You can see that there is the word games in the title of the tab, which is the title of the window. And Cold Turkey detects it, and from the moment it detects it, it completely blocked it. Now, the good thing about this approach is that you don't have to block the full internet to actually manage to control any game. So if I try to type Racing Car Play and I click on this one, of course it's not going to work because there is the games in the title. It avoids you to type like the 100 and 1000 of website that there is online, even if sometimes it can be necessary because it's not going to be detected all the time. For example, if you take all the casino games, they're not necessarily mentioned as games. So what you want to do in this case, you want to go back to websites and go to import and website categories, and here you can add games, and you can also add, if you want, gambling. This way you have plenty of keywords and websites that are blocked. So those are instructions to block URLs that contain the word betting in it. For example, this one, the word blackjack. The wildcards basically means any character. So those may seem a bit complicated, but if you want to block basically any website, any URL, you can just play the wildcard and add your word and then put another wildcard and add it. And so any URL that contains the word gaming, it's going to be blocked. It's a bit less powerful than the application way, but it can be useful for some cases. Now that you're setting up your block, we would encourage you to add all the keywords that you want, to add all the keywords that are going to be necessary to prevent you to access any online video game. To make your life easier, we've created on our website a file that is already containing an extended list of websites and applications keywords that you can simply import. To do so, you can go on websites and go to import website from file, and after you download it from our website, you can just simply open it here and it's going to automatically import it. For the application, you can simply go here and click on import previously exported file, and that way you will not have to type all of them manually, which can take a lot of time. Alright, so now we should be able to target any game, any video game, whether it's an online one that you have installed on your computer, or an app from the Microsoft Store. Now let's see how we can lock this block, because now we can just unlock them and now we suddenly have access to any video games. That is a bit useless. So if you click on unlock, you have many options. So some of them are only for the pro version. So for example, if I click on password, you will see it will ask to upgrade, but you can use random text, which leverage the concept of resistance. It's a concept we talk a bit more in depth in our digital purge program, but basically it makes you lazy to play video games. So how does it work? Well, I'm gonna have to type a bunch of words to access the block, to access video games. I'm going to show you with just 10 characters and lock the block. So now the block is locked, so meaning I cannot access video games. But if I want to unlock it to be able to access video games, the software is asking me to type this annoying text. So it took me like 2 seconds, but you can see that if I do a mistake, I have to correct it. I cannot copy paste the text, by the way. Now it's unlocked. So it took me 2 seconds, but I can go up to 5,000 characters with just text 15 to 37 minutes. That's a lot. And this is where it's going to make me lazy to play video game. It's a bit annoying to type all of that, so maybe I'm going to choose to do something else. That's a really cool resistance leverage that you can use. A lighter way could be to use the restart option. So it basically unlock the block only when you restart it. But for most of us, it's not going to be a huge deal, and we are all going to restart our computer to be able to play. So I wouldn't recommend that for gaming. Now you can also go for a timer. So this block will be locked. Let's say I want to lock it all the time, but maybe I want to allow myself to play between 12 and 2 p.m. for the lunch break. And so you can see now that the lock is unlocked for 18 hours. So if I press on it, it's going to tell me, okay, we're going to lock the block in 18 hours and you won't be able to do any modification to that. That could be an interesting option. And finally, we get the timer, which is one of the most powerful one because there's no way you can negotiate with that. You can basically choose lock me out from video games for 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, or as long as possible. If you're pretty sure of your block, like if you're sure that no keyword that you type is going to block another website that you may need, this may happen. You have tested it for maybe first a few weeks and a few months, and now you're like, this block is working, it's protecting me, I don't want to change anything about it. So you're going to choose to block it forever, basically. Another pro feature, it's to go on continuous block, which allows you to put a schedule. So this can be interesting if you want to monitor the use, especially in the night. So you want to select block this list according to the following schedule and click somewhere, and it's going to ask you a beginning and an end of a block. So I will say between 8 p.m. and midnight, I don't want to be able to play video games. That's a time where I want to focus on my studies or do things more productive. I'm gonna take every day beside maybe Friday and Saturday, the weekend, and I'm going to not allow any break. So I'm gonna add them, and as you can see, they show up here. So I'm gonna save it and show you. If you go in overview, it's going to show here when the blocks are active. So there's the gaming blocker now that is active until tomorrow, and here there is the gaming blocker that will start at 8 p.m. and from 8 p.m. I'm going to be blocked from using video games. So this one is already active, so it's not necessary to have this one, but it's another strategy. If you're not so addicted and you just would like to spend less time gaming, you can identify the moment of the day where you play the most, and you put this kind of schedule limit. Here you can also put an allowance. So I would say in the night, I allow myself to play only 30 minutes. But during the day, maybe I allow myself from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. I have a lunch break. So yeah, I'm going to allow myself to play 1 hour, so 60 minutes, because it's my lunch break. And here you go, you can see that the schedules are here. There's the Friday and Saturday. We're gonna save it, and here you are. There's my schedule block, and the block is unlocked now, so I can modify it. But what I will do, I will choose a timer and change it and keep it for maybe 3 days. I'm gonna test it for 3 days like this. And so now my 2 blocks are completely locked. Now, one last thing, you can go on blocks and frozen turkey, and here you will be able to use the frozen turkey mod. So basically a really aggressive mod that is going to lock you out from your computer. You can change what it does into settings, blocking, and here you can choose either lock screen, sign out, or shutdown. I'm going to choose sign out, and you can activate it whenever you feel you're gonna yield, or whenever you feel the temptations, the cravings are eating really hard, and maybe you want to just have a calm, tranquil mind, knowing that you cannot find any access. So you can lock yourself outside of your computer. Maybe 15 minutes will be enough, maybe 1 day, who knows. But whenever you have choose a time, you can just press start and you're gonna be locked outside of your computer. And there is pretty much nothing you can do unless you add some allowance. There is a free trial that you can use right here. For this tutorial, we're gonna activate it. And now we will go to continuous block this list according to the following schedule. So let's say my cravings about video games really hits at night when I come back from work from, let's say, 6 p.m. to maybe midnight. From here, I'm going to put it every day, and if you want, you can add some allowance, like maybe 30 minutes out of those hours. You allow yourself 30 minutes of gaming, or you can simply, if you're trying to completely quit, just put no break, and now the timing is set. So if you activate it, what is going to happen from 6 o'clock? It's going to lock yourself out of the computer. So this is a really powerful thing. Be careful before using it, especially if you don't put breaks, because you won't be able to do anything to get you out of here, and you'll be locked and won't be able to use your computer during the frozen turkey mode. But this can be a really handy tool when you feel the cravings are hitting so hard that you need to be away from your computer. So we hope by now you are having a clean and efficient cold turkey installation. Of course, as you may guess, a simple software is not enough to quit digital bad habits. And that's why we've created the Digital Purge, an online course to give you the tools you need to understand your triggers and to leverage psychology so you can finally hack any digital bad habit you want to get rid of. Rather than relying on willpower and suffering by trying to resist temptations, we teach you how to identify and destroy them so you can feel in peace. To give you an extra motivation, we drop down in the description a really nice early coupon so you can get a promotion for the #1 course that breaks any digital addiction.